All right, America, welcome back. I am Rich Valdez. This is Liquid Lunch, and I'm sitting in for John Tobacco and Frank Morano today as Frank celebrates his nuptials. So congratulations to John and his lovely bride. And again, I'm Rich Valdez. I'm the host of This is America on WABC Radio, where I also do double duty as Mr. Call Screener on The Mark Levin Show as his associate producer. And if you're any fan of either of the shows, you've heard us talk about the Tea Party Patriots. And it is my sincere pleasure to have Jenny Beth Martin, the honorary chairman of Tea Party Patriots Action, with us today. Jenny Beth, welcome to Liquid Lunch.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So the topic of the day, the topic of the hour has been impeachment. What do you think the fallout of impeachment is going to be from your perspective?
Well, I think that what we're seeing happen right now from the Democrats actually is very harmful to the country. And it's harmful even to what impeachment should be. They're projecting things onto President Trump that he has not done. And they are not waiting around for facts or evidence. And when they get the facts and evidence, they're ignoring the facts and evidence. And we saw Adam Schiff yesterday just make things up out of whole cloth in the committee hearing and present it as if it was a real conversation the president had when it wasn't. He only corrected himself and said it was parody after a Republican asked him why he was making it up. And I think that's harmful for the country. There are times when impeachment may be an important step to take, but if you just use it as a political weapon against your opponents because you're upset that you can't beat them in the polls, then it actually weakens what impeachment was intended for. That's what the Democrats are doing right now.
I'm here with Jaden Horan, and he also wanted to address that same point.
Jenny Beth, I mean, what do you think it'll take for Republicans to really sit there and say that they've had enough, that they're going to line up behind President Trump? I mean, with Democrats essentially saying that they are categorically going to move quickly on impeachment, should Republicans not slow it down? Should Republicans not say that they stand behind the president?
Yeah, they should be saying that they stand behind the president. I would recommend to the senators who have a majority in the Senate to start calling in and questioning people who are question the whistleblower, question who gave the whistleblower this information that likely never should have been given to the whistleblower in the first place. Let's have a real investigation because we're having a sham of an investigation in the House. And I say to everyone who is watching right now, call your congressman, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, and demand that they do not impeach President Trump and they do not overthrow the election results. And here in Atlanta, we're going to go show up next week at Lucy McBath's office and make sure that she understands that her constituents don't want that to happen and do not want her to be voting for impeachment. I encourage everyone to do that while the House is on recess over the next 2 weeks.
So, Jenny Beth Martin, of course, you are the chair of Tea Party Patriots. Tell us a little bit about the event. I know last week or about a week ago, there was an event that Mark Levin joined you guys at. Tell us about that event and anything else you have coming up in the hopper.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Mark Levin spoke at our Stop Socialism, Choose Freedom rally, which we had last week on Capitol Hill in front of the U.S. Capitol. It was a bit of a 10th anniversary celebration for us, but also making sure that we're putting a marker on the ground right now to say that we are for freedom and against socialism. We had some incredible speakers. We had members of Congress. We had Mark Levin. Mark Levin was the keynote, and he really was the best speaker. But right next to him was this lady who survived communist China, and she talked about what happened to her in forced labor camps. It was, you could hear, we were outside, but you could hear a pin drop when she spoke and talked about how socialism promises heaven on earth, but all she got was a one-way ticket to hell. We're going to continue to make sure that Americans understand the difference between socialism and freedom. We've been doing that all this year, and we'll continue to do that in the future. Also, at the end of last Saturday, I was in Denver with Michelle Malkin at a Stand for ICE rally, and she's doing another one of those rallies in Tacoma tomorrow, Tacoma, Washington, at the Northwest Detention Center for ICE. So if you're in the Pacific Northwest, I urge you to show up at 10 o'clock at the Northwest Detention Center tomorrow morning and stand with ICE with Michelle Malkin.
All right, that's Jenny Beth Martin. Jenny Beth, thank you so much for being with us. That's teapartypatriots.org, teapartypatriots.org. Jenny Beth, do you have a final word?
I just encourage everyone, make sure you're melting the phone lines and letting your congressman, Republican or Democrat, either way, hear you do not want President Trump impeached and do not want the 2016 election overturned.
I couldn't agree with you more. This is the time for people to fight. If you're in the Pacific Northwest, get out there and fight. Wherever you are in America, you need to get out and fight.